if I don't get fired tomorrow, it's going to be a miracle because, one, everyone thinks I'm a guy called Steve Jenkins, but I had the wrong guy, and two, I shit in a filing cabinet. Now, there is a reasonable explanation. Well, this is what happened, right? I applied for this job on a whim. I didn't think I was going to get it. I don't know how I got an interview, to be honest. When I was applying online, they asked for a PDF of my CV, but I accidentally uploaded an MP4 of a crab doing a backflip, and it's a pretty cool video. It's in slow motion. AC/DC's playing in the background. But that's not what's important. What's important is I was in the interview. They said, "Nice to meet you, Steve Jenkins," and that should have been the first clue that I was not the guy who was supposed to be there. But the guy, he was a black man, and I don't know. I thought maybe it was a term of endearment, like that white guy's pretty cool. He's a Steve Jenkins, you know. I wasn't looking pretty cool. I was dressed as a magician because I just come from a kid's birthday party. But the good thing about being a magician who's looking for a job is that you can do both wearing a suit. So I was in the interview, they're asking me all sorts of questions. I'm just bullshitting my way through because I don't know why I'm there. I'm extremely underqualified, so I'm just lying through the job. They ask me what my greatest strength is, and instead of saying making balloon animals, I say Microsoft Excel. They ask me what my biggest weakness is. I don't say I have a history of shitting in people's filing cabinets. I say I'm just too much of a perfectionist. And the charms worked. I'll show you what the charms were, right? The secret to any interview going well is the charms. The questions and the way you answer them, that's like 20%, 80%, no, 75% is the charm, and there's another 5% which is pizzazz. Okay, here's the charm. Okay, hi, I'm Steve Jenkins, and here's the 5% pizzazz. You know, it's a little like icing on top, the little sprinkles that give it flavor. It's what you do with your eyebrows. So that's how I got the job, and I immediately started panicking because I got in there. I had no idea what I was doing. Everyone's calling me Steve Jenkins, even the white people. I'm like, oh my god, I'm not meant to be here. And I didn't shit in the filing cabinet right away. I've been working there for about a week. I've been panicking. It's a tough job. I've been making enemies left, right, and center. Dave, don't get me started on Dave. Dave has got it out for me. He does have his reasons though. I got called into HR because apparently I've been sending him inappropriate messages over text, and it's understandable why he might think that. Well, I'll tell you the story. So I'm not much of a people person, but we shared phone numbers. I'm trying to broaden my horizons, make some friends in work. I gave him a phone number, and he sent me this text. Okay, it said, "I like to treat myself to a cigar on my birthday." Huh? Well, that's what he meant. What he wrote was, "I like to treat myself to a cigar on my B-day." That's what he wrote, but it's not how I read it, Jazzy Army, because the B was lowercase. I read this as bidet. So now I'm imagining Dave squatting over in the bathroom, water squirting up into his butthole. Oh yeah, this is the life. That's what I'm thinking of Dave, and I met him a week ago. And that's not even the bit that confused me the most. The bit that confused me the most is that a cigar, it's a pretty big thing as a cigar. So now, Dave, who I only met a week ago, I'm thinking, Dave, how long does it take you to clean your arsehole, mate? And so I replied to him and I said, Dave, how long does it take you to clean your arsehole, mate? And that's why I was called into HR, pretty much, long story short. So Dave's my enemy. Amy, she's my enemy as well at work. It was actually her filing cabinet I took a dump in. It wasn't really an accident, but I had my reasons. Listen, so Amy, I was trying to be nice to Amy, okay? We were both starting at the same time. She was telling me about a new house she moved into, and I was really dirty. But I'm Steve Jenkins. I'm Jake, but she thinks I'm Steve Jenkins. You know, I'm thinking I'm Steve Jenkins, and I'm a nice guy. I'm Steve Jenkins with the charm. Hi, Amy. I'm Steve Jenkins. I heard about your dirty house. And here's the pizzazz on top of that. And then I sent her some cleaning products to help her clean her house. It was a nice gesture. I was helping Amy clean her house. So I ordered a bunch of bleachers, washing up liquids, sent them to her address, which she didn't tell me, but I found out. And the delivery driver put them all in the same box. And he must have been pretty rough with it as well, because he was shaking about and other liquids mixed together and kind of created a mustard gas. So when it was actually put in her house, it kind of it killed her pets. Not a goldfish, because that was underwater. It survived. Her nan was in at the time. It didn't kill her off though. She was on the edge. Believe me, she was close, but she didn't die. No, she's hanging on in intensive care. So Amy had it out for me, but she made a complaint to HR as well. So that's 2 complaints. And you know what they say? 3 strikes and you're out. And I thought I did get the 3rd strike. I thought someone made a complaint about me, and that I was gone. And so I went and thought, I'm going to take revenge. I'm going to start taking shits in the filing cabinets, I forget what my therapist told me, okay? Shitting in people's documents is a way to solve your problems, okay? But, I was wrong. I wasn't complaining about a 3rd time. It turns out the person who had made a complaint about me was me. Because I forgot my name is Jake, and I'm playing a guy called Steve Jenkins. So Steve Jenkins had a complaint against him from a guy called Jake. The way that happened was, I was kind of, this one's a bit difficult for me to share, if I'm being honest. I was in a really bad mood. I'd just come from a children's birthday party where it didn't go well. I was doing the trick where you saw a woman in half, but I didn't have a woman to saw in half. So it was just a pair of fake legs sticking out the back with no head. The kids, they saw right through the magic of it, and I think I ruined a few childhoods. So I wasn't in a good mood, and I was going, oh God, why can't I was beginning to feel like a man sawed in half. I was a man trapped between 2 lives, Jazzy Army. I was Jake's Jazzy Jam, the magician, and I was Steve Jenkins, Chief Technology Officer at Butt Plugs Limited, who also coincidentally own the patents to a Bluetooth pepper grinder. I was not qualified to be there. I cannot stress it enough. But you know what, Jazzy Army? Once I'm fired, I'm free. I can be unemployed again. Being unemployed is awesome. You can post what you want online, and you don't have to care. You don't have to care. Let's go crazy together, Jazzy Army. Let's go Goblin mode. Let's go Goblin mode, baby. Yeah.